Greetings and welcome to the broadcast. I'm your host. This is the Kandahar Giant. If we were to Google this, for instance, we would come up right off the bat, either Google or Start Page, a bunch of articles chronologically of special forces guys getting killed in Kandahar area of Afghanistan. The story goes that the giant killed some of them. They killed the giant. It was spirited out on a plane, something like this. If we do a YouTube search, not Google, but this YouTube search, I'll do a couple pages here for us. Same thing. What makes this interesting, this story, it's been out there for 10, 12 years. Now it's gotten some legs and money's being spent on it. Let's go ahead and go over to Kandahar in Afghanistan. Take a look around. Here's their university in the back, Kandahar University. In the background is mountains similar to where the so-called giant was killed. If we look around the town itself, we're going to see a lot of sidewalks or just dirt fields, and some nice-looking buildings. There'll be, of course, the feel-good photo op where there'll be a tall basketball guy. This guy's not a giant, and a little militarism. Now, the Canadians, bless their heart, this is why they call them infidels. This is just like putting a swastika on their soil by putting this maple leaf and risking lives to do it. It just shows how befuddled and twisted the war effort is over there. But what we're interested in is this Kandahar Giant. I'm going to have somebody else come by and give a blurb on this thing. Then I'm going to come back, we're going to do some analysis, and you and I are going to get to the bottom of this thing and do a little intelligence gathering. Of course, now I don't know, I'm not taking, this could be another Roswell, New Mexico thing where there's a little something, a little fire, and a little smoke. You're going to get guys like this coming out of the woodwork who see a giant, of course, in every single thing. If we take a look at the Bible, and I like to do that as a baseline, 19 times the word giants listed. We add an S onto it right here, giants plural. Giants are mentioned 11 times. Giants are involved in a lot of stuff in the Bible. Of course, the most famous one here is they come down and have relations with women, have children by women, and like that there. And other things, Moses had to fight the giants. In addition to David and Goliath, Moses took them on and did quite a job on them. There's also a timeline. You can read about giants having children, and so that kind of defines it. The Bible's great about defining giants, and some have 6 fingers and 6 toes. This red giant of Kandahar does indeed have, it was said to have had 6 fingers and 6 toes. So let's get ready. I'm going to key up a little blurb here, go through this, and we're going to come by, we're going to do some analysis and some intelligence gathering on the cheap, and we'll be back in a little bit. Take care, Lord bless, and hear you in a bit. L.A. Marzulli gets ready to interview one of the shooters.
The reason I bring this up is because when I showed this lance to the shooter, he commented that this artifact was similar to what the giant of Kandahar was wielding. There was another dynamic I want to discuss before we run the clip from Watchers 10 DNA, which, by the way, has become viral. The fact that this giant had 6 fingers and 6 toes, as well as flaming red hair. There was also a stench that was as powerful as a skunk, but according to the shooter, smelled more like a pile of rotting corpses. Here's the clip, and you can decide for yourself if giants are alive and well and living in the present day. You were in Afghanistan in 2002, and you were called into a very remote section of Afghanistan because a patrol had basically gone missing.
Exactly.
Okay, there's just no villages around for miles.
Right.
So it's very remote.
Yeah, very remote. So we flew in to about 4 kilometers. We're hiking through the same area where they were supposed to make one of their checkpoints, one of their rally points. And before we left, there was all kinds of what happened with the ambush. That was even odd because at the point of the ambush, we called from any close air support, something. Okay? There was no calls made, just off the grid. So we're coming down a mountainside, and there was a nice path, built path. As we bent around this corner, you can see this opening of the cave. There's a cave. So we're coming around, and then I see there's a lot of rocks, which is another oddity, and then bone matter. I'm not close enough to identify what kind of bones, but I did see something I knew was a piece of our communications equipment. So instantly, we're thinking ambush, maybe animal, could be anything. There was enough room in front of this cave, but it had a sheer drop-off. But there was enough room that we actually got into a decent dispersal in case of ambush.
You see something coming out of the cave, and it's moving with a speed and agility that catches you off guard.
Everybody. And he comes out. There was a man at least 12 to 15 feet. monster, red beard, then his hair was long past the shoulder, a scarlet red, and Dan runs that search and broke all of us into the reality. As it was
So
so
now your training is kicking in.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
muscle memory, that complete muscle memory. While Dan is moving at him, another bro of mine's laying down fire, and I start firing. It's Stewart's day. He's now got him on this pipe. It went through. He's still got him. And he's coming after more. We all just clicked in. I don't know what it was, but I remember we're all like, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the face. Our weapons components were in fours. We had 308s, and we had Paris 50s. This is sounding longer than it took. We're talking 30 seconds. And he's taking multiple hits, and he's still moving.
He talked about this giant being 1,100 pounds, anywhere from 10 to 15 feet long, and it was killed. It was apparently shot somewhere in a cave in Afghanistan, but before it was shot, it lunged at several of our troops, our soldiers. It may have even gorged somebody. It was just a bizarre story, and it just sounds like the Nephilim from the Bible.
Anything of it, they come to find out that the person that they killed actually was 3 times the size of a man, had extra digits on their hands and digits on their feet, and had red hair, and a special unit had come in and wanted this target.
When I arrived at the venue where I was speaking, I phoned Richard and I told him we had yet another witness to the giant story. The initial story that was told to us was related verbatim by this man as fact. We then interviewed both of these men for our film, Watchers 10 DNA. There was also a dynamic of the story that I want to point out to you, and it's this. A while back, I interviewed Chief Joseph Riverwind right here on PPS Report. The chief and I spoke about what I have come to call the Nephilim Lance. This artifact was discovered in the backwoods of Michigan by an outdoorsman named Bob Shelley. Bob gave the original lance to the chief, and I'm holding a reproduction of it, a 1-to-1 reproduction of it, here as I speak. This weighs about 8.5 pounds. It's very heavy, and when you take this and lash it to a pole, it would be very difficult for a 6-foot man to wield. And yet, this is...
Let me just show a brief Bible passage concerning that spear they're showing you here. The Bible talks about right down to the weight of the shekel and the iron composition of the lance that was used by Goliath and the giants. It's very important. Let's go ahead and get back to this presentation.
Rather than be somewhat peaceful, but I guess that comes with the territory.
Dan was dead. Okay. And Wyatt is a good man. He's probably one of the best men I know, now dead. Before I'd left, they were already starting what they call a 9-line, which is a medevac request. They're sending out a medevac request, then all of a sudden it's not a medevac request. All of a sudden we had a helicopter show up, because like I told you, it was a large precipice and a sheer drop. So the helicopter just came up from the drop. They had dropped netting, which is like cargo netting. It's like squares, and we were told we had to bundle him up. And we get another